Right-hand side of the key. They rotate it over to Campbell for the baseline flip. Won't go. Kemp all over that rebound like a bad suit. Out of backcourt, he comes out of the blocks on fire. Oh, raging right-handed tomahawk jam from the Rain Man. Oh, my goodness.
Welcome to Basketball KINGZ PDX, man. Today we got a legend in the house, a legend of Seattle, the Seattle Superstars, and now a legend in the cannabis industry. Shawn, the Rain Man Kemp. What's up, Big Shawn? What's up, boy? My nigga, what's up, boy?
Oh, man, Troy, what's happening, man? I'm glad y'all got me on the show, man. Hopefully y'all doing good health-wise and everything, staying healthy. But, of course, man, business is doing fine, and life after basketball is even better, man.
I'm trying to get in the cookie game with G. He won't let me in the game, man.
I'm not letting yellow people into my
see, that's an edit right there, man. Hey, Shawn. Hey, tell me, man. I want to get this off and cracking, man, because I've been knowing G, man. That's my brother, man. I've been knowing Terrell for, that's my brother, and I've been knowing you for now. Since Gary played up in Seattle for a long time. It's been a long time, but we all go way back. Tell me, explain what your relationship with Gary, what it really has meant and what it means and how it's evolved into like right now. Y'all still cool, man. What is, when y'all first met, what's all that mean, man?
I mean, it means a little bit of everything, man. Like, without Gary, there's no representation for myself because I felt like we came up together, and it goes beyond basketball, man. So this relationship here is so tight that I think we still feed off each other. I called Gary numerous times throughout the week, just asking him questions on different things, his advice on different things. Still to this day, and I'm 50 years old, so I think that's the best relationship you could possibly have with anybody that you play with or anybody that you came up with. That means that you guys got a tight relationship where you trust each other on anything. I
heard Steven Jackson say, man, if Gary Payton fucks with you, then you got to be a real dude.
But I will say this, I mean, through the relationships of basketball and knowing these guys, I knew the background of Terrell. I knew his mom, his pops. My mom knew his mom. My mother knew Gary's mother, knew his father and stuff. So I think with these guys here, that just shows you what type of people they are.
TB, stop being shy, man. Ask Shawn something, man.
Yeah, man.
I'll be around him I talk to him almost every day. So this y'all time to shine, man.
Okay,
you already know I'm ready. I'm always cocked and locked, GB. Shawn, check this out, man. Tell me, you and I and Vin Baker at that time was one of the biggest trades at that time. When you went to Cleveland, and I went to Milwaukee, and Vin Baker went to Seattle. Man, I never asked you, bro. Did you want to leave Seattle, man? Because I didn't want to leave Cleveland at the time. I ain't gonna front.
No, not at all. I did not. Terrell, I didn't want to leave Seattle, man. I really didn't. I was hoping that we got something worked out, but through the contracts and stuff, it kind of forced me to do what I did. But I did not personally. I did not want to leave Seattle. I knew taking that chance on leaving Seattle was going to hurt my dynasty because me and Gary had put that work in. When you put that foundation work in as a player, and then you have to change teams, it's going to be 50-50 when you go somewhere else. But when you put that foundation work down, you're going to get positive results where you've been.
Oh yeah, man, because I was hurt at first, man, because I didn't want to leave Cleveland. It was real cool.
No, absolutely. But I think, and I just told Gary this recently. Yeah, man, leaving Seattle, man, was bad for me. It was bad for me personally, but it was also bad for me basketball-wise too, man, because just the love of the game changed for me. Not playing with him changed the love of the game as far as I was concerned.
Hey, Shawn, man, how can you be a McDonald's All-American and a lottery pick coming out of high school, man, and they don't give you Mr. Indiana? I don't get that one right there, man. Is that really a testament because you committed to Kentucky?
Absolutely, man. That's all from Bobby Knight, man. Bobby Knight wasn't a big fan. He wasn't a big fan of Shawn Kemp when I made my decision to go to University of Kentucky. He pretty much called me up on the phone and told me that word was out the door. So you know, but I can appreciate Coach Knight because he tell you that straight up, honestly. Like when I made my decision to go to Kentucky, Bobby Knight called me on the phone and told me there's no way in the world that I could win Mr. Basketball in Indiana. So at least he was direct. And sometimes, you know, as you go along in this, man, you just want to know. As long as you know, you're okay with it. You know, it's when they do these things and you don't know, it kind of throws you for a loop. I could accept it because he had already told me this before the award was even given out. So Bobby Knight is a very powerful man in the state of Indiana. And that was one of the reasons I really didn't want to go to college and play, man, after visiting Indiana University and watching Coach Knight do a few of the things that he did, making the old coaches run suicide. You know, matter of fact, I'll tell y'all this story, man. I went down there to visit Indiana University. Indiana University is playing Illinois and Kendall Gill. Coach Knight comes, he leaves before halftime. So he goes in about 2 minutes before halftime. He goes in, I go in the locker room at halftime, I see this garbage can over the middle of the IU sign in the locker room. So Coach Knight had went in there, took a dump on the IU sign, put the garbage can over the shit. So when the team came in at halftime, he basically was like, "This is how y'all playing." So he said, "This is how y'all playing." So he lifted that can up, and then you got this big ball of shit right there in the middle of the
Hey,
I go to the hallway and I call my mom and I was like, "Hey, look, y'all need to drive down here tomorrow morning and pick me up." I can't.
Yeah. Hey, how long would he last today, G? TB? It's a day's stay. I mean, you can't do that.
He'll be fired the next day.
I don't give a fuck if you Bobby Knight or not. You're not gonna last doing that today.
Hey, GP, so we had Ralph Miller and Don Munson, and we put it with them. But Bob Knight, nah, man. No.
Do you see anybody who emulates your Gary or Terrell's game?
The closest thing that I could probably see to myself would be Zion. As LeBron and Zion, they're basically beasting these guys in the paint because there's really not even any big guys out there in the court anymore. So there's mostly small forwards and guards that are playing. So these guys with some size and athleticism are able to take advantage of their true strength down low.
Zion is the only thing close to Shawn. Because right now, Shawn would dominate because he's too big. There's nobody. That's why Zion dominates the game, because he's so strong, he's so big, and once he puts the ball on the floor and he bumps people, it's so easy.
Kemp picks Mark Jackson, gets the give and go. Well, we'll watch it again.
Shawn, so tell me about your days, your ventures today. How the transition coming from basketball now going into what you're doing into now the cannabis stuff. Mm-hmm. How is that all translating in from you being a great basketball player to now a businessman?
I mean, obviously, you know, like I said, being on that court and you having to shine and step on that court is one thing. But the one thing that we learned from, you know, playing in the NBA that's really helped me out in the business world is just about teamwork. You know, accepting your roles on doing certain things, doing it to the best of your ability, and then allowing yourself to work with some good people that surround you. So very similar, G, to kind of like when we was with each other, man. Like, you know, I wanted to put myself in a position where I worked with some quality people, but also I was going to have to play an important role on what I did. So it's really worked out well, man, that, you know, I've been able to work with, you know, relate to the community out here, and then, and also been able to take care of business behind closed doors. So, you know, I just think it was the perfect fit for me to work with these guys. I've been looking to get into the cannabis industry for a while now. I didn't jump on the first thing that I saw, but you know, working with these guys, I definitely knew my role that I was going to have to play, and they've definitely done a great job of doing what they had to do so far. Also,
that's so tight, man. How's them GP cookies selling? They selling up
hey,
there,
man. I mean, we can't keep them in the store. You know, Gary get a little. I'm gonna tell y'all about Gary Payton, man. He get a little. Him and his cookies, man. Gary don't let people in the cookies program too much. They give you a little taste, and then you have you out here fiending, man. Have you out here fiending, have your people out here wanting that product extra. You know what I'm saying? I got people coming into the store every day wanting this GP stuff, man. I can't even get, Troy, I can't get no product lately, man.
Oh, gee, what's up with that,
But he
man?
ain't, but he ain't called
down
me.
here.
He
But when
ain't
he don't
called
come
me.
in town, we get no product, man. I don't know what's
If he ain't called me though, you know Shawn don't want to call me. If he ain't gonna call me, I don't know. So now I know I gotta go get it. I gotta get it there. You know what I'm saying?
Burner, he got Burner on the switch, man. They talking to each other, but you know I can't get no number from Burner. Gary don't want to give me no product, man. Terrell, man, I'm gonna call you after the show, man. Maybe you can give me some of this.
Give me a call, man. You know what the trip shot? I'm tripping off y'all just listening, man. And ain't the trip, man, the three of us, or the four of us, that we all play team sports and how the team sports relate to business. And it's so easy for us to transition sometimes a little bit quicker because we believe in the we and the us when a lot of owners believe in the I. Ain't that kind of a trip?
Yeah, hey, TB, it ain't, you said it right. It was just the three of us. It ain't four. That yellow boy ain't that yellow boy ain't in no motherfucker. That yellow boy ain't no team. He ain't no goddamn team.
Hey, man, I waved a lot of towels, man. What you talking about?
Hey, man. Hey, look here, man. That motherfucker ain't with us, though, TV. That motherfucker on his own. He be fucking with me. He fuck with me every now and then when he acting stupid. Did you see what he said?
Hey.
I tried to hold me in TV. I tried to.
Hey, there was a rare moment I was getting ready to say something nice about you, bro.
Hey, Troy, it's all good, man. It's too late now, man. I've been knowing your mama, your sister, and all of them, man. So.
Hey, that's the one thing I'll say, man. You showed my mom love, and my mom loved you, man. And I think that's one thing that all four of us got, man, is our mamas, man. We all four mamas boys.
That's what I was telling y'all early on, man. That's the stuff that matters to you later in life, and especially after you've met those people. That stuff means a little bit more to you.
So tell me, man, can you that Chicago series? That Chicago series, man. Looking back at that Chicago series, man, Gary not starting on MJ, man, them first two games. I personally think that the series would have been a 7-game series at the very least, and then, whoever, man. What are your thoughts on looking back on that series, man, and how replaying it in your mind and your head? What do you think y'all could have did differently?
Well, I think we could have did a lot of things differently, man. For one, we was unfortunate to have some injury. So the Nate McMillan injury, Gary had an injury. Also had his back. He was dealing with some back issues. So you have to remember that going into the series. So I think what they was trying to do is to not wear Gary out. But the thing about it, if you ever, we've all played ball, man. If you're going to play against Michael Jordan, you really have to put somebody strong in his face. If you take Michael Jordan, you put somebody weak in his face, it only makes him get excited. So I'll never forget this. When we went out there for the opening tip, and Michael looked over and he realized that Detlef Shrimp was guarding. I remember him going down and tying up his shoestrings a little bit more, and I was just like, oh man. He's going straight to no offense to Detlef, but he's getting the ball. He's going straight to the rack. And that's exactly what he did those first two games, man. He didn't really kill us, but he got to the free throw line a lot. But, it was just a bad decision. We should have put Gary on Michael Jordan just because Gary, just for Michael would have that fear that somebody was going to be in his face. You could never stop Michael, but you could sometimes put somebody strong in his face, and then he would just go to shooting jump shots. But if you get him the drive and the jumper, then you had no chance of winning.
But I never know, especially at that time in both of you guys' career, I never knew Gary to wear down though. I didn't. I never saw that.
Right. Well, I think when you get to that level, I think sometimes coaches, they overthink things and they're thinking like, we're going to reserve this guy, reserve his energy a little bit because of his back. It was just a bad decision by George. I'm sure if George could do it all over again, he would change that. If anything, he would change that and put Gary on Michael Jordan. And I think we would be better off, without a doubt. Because, basically Chicago started off with an 0-2 league and we had to play comeback.
Hey, Troy, I want to interject. You talking about with GP, man. GP put a lot of pressure. We used to talk about it in the East Coast, with Mookie Blaylock, myself, and Kenny Anderson and Chris Childs. And we were like, man, if Gary just take a game off, man, we'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? But Gary, his motor was so crazy, man, that he played every single game. And that put a lot of pressure on us. So we always appreciate you, GP. I'm gonna tell you again, over and over again, till I die, that man, that when you used to go, you'd have no excuses, man. And that put a lot of pressure on us to say, man, this little ankle injury that we so-called injury, no, it don't hurt that bad. And Shawn, you can test to that GP, he was reliable, man, every day.
Yeah, and then you got to think about it too, TB. Y'all got to think about it. Y'all say me, but you got to say Shawn ain't missed too many games neither. So, you know, me was always the point to this. If he out there, I'm going to be out there too, because that's my running mate. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no glove without the rain man. It ain't no rain man without the glove. So when he was playing, and during that time, when George came to me, and he convinced me really when I shouldn't have let him convince me. When he talked to me, he was like, "Man, I know you hurting. I know it's all bad. We had a tough series against Utah, and I don't want to kill you right now. I think we're good." And then when Nate decided that he couldn't play and it was just too bad, I really wanted to play him, but I didn't want to hurt our chances of winning the game. And we didn't play right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, both me and Shawn, if you guys didn't understand, we started off slow. We might have averaged Shawn averaged, I think, like 25. I averaged like 22 or something like that. We started off slow in Chicago. We didn't play well. Game one, we should have won. We lost at the end. We lost by like 3 points or something. And then all of a sudden, when we got down 3-0, I just said, forget it. It is what it is. Let me go ahead and do what I do. And by that time, Shawn had already got the ropes. And he had figured out Dennis Rodman. He done figured out everybody. Yeah. And then I start figuring out Jordan. And then I start posting Jordan up more, scoring on him at will. And then that's when Phil Jackson came in. He started making changes. He put Pippen on me as a bigger guy. And Shawn started doing his thing. So we start going through Shawn on the post then. And then I started going one-on-one. And by that time, it was just a little bit too late. The referees was going to give it to Jordan. So, you know how that goes.
But I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to also tell y'all the truth to this, man. This is how it went down. That whole season, me and Gary had went out there the whole season, every night. I mean, we wasn't at the club, we was at the strip club. The whole entire season. We get to Chicago, and all of a sudden, they got Gary up there nursing his back and stuff. Now he acting like he can't go out to the club, man.
Hey, G, before you came on today, he said you don't even fuck with him like that no more.
Hey,
you remember
after the
parade?
I ordered that limousine that night in Chicago, man. We went out to the club right before that second game. We stayed out till about 3-4 in the morning. Came back and put work in on the Bulls, man. And then it was like, after that, it was like the confidence level just started to rise up. And then we was good, man.
Hey, GP, I got to be honest, though. I'm with Shawn, though. If you got your rest and you was in the crib, you wasn't as good as staying up to 4 o'clock in the morning, hanging out, kicking it. Then the next day, you get up in the morning, go grab you an egg McMuffin and go put in work. That was when you was at your best, bro.
No doubt. Man.
I know. I was trying to act like you, Troy. Sit in the house, act like an old maid. I couldn't do that, man. I had to go out and get my drink on, man, and get my.
Hey, G.
Ain't nobody coming in. We veterans, man, but we turned it out, man. We got better. Gerd made us better, man. He just
definitely
done his thing, did what he had to do, man. And me and Shawn start becoming all-stars, man. And we start making it every year after year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was good.
Yeah, but also back then, and I tell y'all this, even with Gerd, at the time, me and Gary didn't have the greatest leadership skills, but we learned them, man. So we started going to Las Vegas, inviting the team to come to Las Vegas. This is how Gary got to Vegas. We started going to Las Vegas in the summertime, started inviting the team to come to Las Vegas, working out in Vegas. And then, next thing you know, this cat here, man, he was like the damn coach of the team, man. His leadership qualities just went head above.
the two staples, man, the two bookends of the city, not just the organization, but the city. I would think that the ownership would be like, well, hold on, what you trying to do? No, not this guy, or not Gary and Shawn. No, I mean there was no collaboration at all.
But that was different. It was different. Wally Walker was, as I can recall, Shawn. He was the son-in-law of the Ackley's daughter's daughter.
Oh,
that was her husband. So they were letting him do the things because of the daughter. You know what I'm saying? So it was funny, man. I mean, like I said, at the time, the Ackley's, they were trying to move out of there. It was trying to separate the team. They made a decision to let the son-in-law try to run the organization. He convinced them. And then next thing you know, he sold the team to an idiot. You know what I'm saying? And the idiot messed the team up after that. And then my downfall came out of Seattle. So you know how that goes, you know?
Yeah. Just the chain effect, TB. That affected you. That affected Ray Allen. That affected Ben Baker. You know, it was a chain effect.
Yeah, it was, man. We were all affected by it because, you know, no disrespect to the Bucks, but I wasn't trying to go to Milwaukee, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if we gonna be real,
at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, man.
And I can tell you, Terrell, how you kind of got to Milwaukee, man. And I've never got a chance to tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you this today. Well, basically, it came down to me, them wanting to trade me to Milwaukee, and then I was like, hell no, I can't go to Milwaukee. Then I was like, well, they was like, well, you could go to Indiana or Cleveland. And I didn't want to go home and play. So I was like, well, I'll go to Cleveland. And then I was like, can Terrell Brandon stay? And they was like, no, Terrell Brandon, we're going to send Terrell Brandon to Milwaukee and then to Seattle. And I was like,
They had to have a superstar. They had to have a good player for the superstar. You got to have somebody.
They said the trade can't go down unless we got somebody powerful in the trade. Terrell, that was
do
you.
it. Wow. I never knew that, man.
All-star for all-star. Shit, you got to have that.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. That's basically what it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it ain't gonna work.
Man,
Hey,
thanks
G,
for telling that, because I never knew that, man.
Hey, G, what's wrong with playing in Milwaukee? It's only 45 minutes from Chicago, man.
Get the fuck out of here. That bullshit ass motherfucking city, man. It ain't worth shit.
You had to throw that in. You know what? I ain't gonna lie though. That's some of the easiest assists I ever had in my career. When I had Jesus on the right and I had Glenn Robinson on the left.
Yeah.
Boy, that was some easy assists, man. So if I got there and got through the cold weather I already been through with Cleveland, so I was pretty cool. But the basketball part was cool. Because these young guys, they just wanted to run and have fun. They were still 22, 23 years old. So that part, it was pretty cool.
Hey, Shawn, man. Hey, before we get out of here, man, what was it like, man, back in the day, man, at the height of y'all being in Seattle, man, y'all going, you and G running Seattle, man. Name some of the spots, man. How was y'all kicking it back then? I want to hear about it. How was y'all kicking it, man?
I would tell you this, Troy, man. In the height of us doing the best that we did, this was the best feeling in the world that we could go to any gym, to any place in the world, get in, we could do what we wanted to around this country. Because at the height of what we were doing, we probably became one of the most popular duos there is, man. So on the court, it was great because we was getting mad respect. Off the court, it was great because we was doing everything that we wanted to do. There's nothing that's been done that we didn't.
That's your answer?
I can promise you that.
That's your answer, man? God, hey.
That's right, man. Hey. We don't reveal what we was going, man. We had celebrities.
Man.
This is not Phil's fault. This is not
Rain Man in the glove.
We are great professionals.
I thought, hey, TB, I thought I was gonna get a little something. They ain't giving up no juice.
No, man, we ain't giving you our hideaway secrets, man. We was everywhere. Everywhere.
Hey, Shawn. Hey, I was at a couple of them times though, so I know.
No doubt, you absolutely know, bro.
Yeah,
You had to throw that in, TB. Look at you. See, that's that light skin stuff we were talking about, Shawn.
There it is.
That's it.
That's light skin.
woo, y'all some haters, boy. I ain't never experienced such hate in a long time.
Hey.
But this is the most hate I've experienced in a long time.
You could have made it in today's game, though.
There's a lot of light skinners.
Y'all some cold brothers, man. Real, man. Y'all messing with my self-esteem right now. Hey, G, what you got, mate?
Man, Shawn, this is the time that I take over the podcast, and every guest that we have, especially this one, is going to be a great pleasure for me because you're my boy. You're like a brother to me, man. We're so tight. All I want you to do is, man, just say something, man, that's on your mind, that's on your heart, that you want to share with this world. Whatever you need to share with them, just share with them, man, and let people know, this is what Shawn Kemp right here is thinking about it, what he feels.
Oh man, just today, man, just in today's world, man, we living in a tough time. This is me telling you guys, we living in a tough time now where it's COVID going around and a lot of people dying. I think it's over 500,000 Americans have died. And I think it's a message to send back to all of us is that this world is about giving, not receiving. And it's something that we all should just look around and see. A lot of people want to receive things in this world, but I think, and overall, it's about giving. And we should always remember that it's about what you can do for people, not about what you can give from people. As long as we remember that little thing, man, I think that the world will be a better place, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Some good stuff right there, man. We appreciate you coming on, man. Hopefully you come back, man. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself, man. It's good seeing you always,
for sure, man. Hey, man, Terrell, it's good seeing you, man. I'm going to get your number, man, from when I come to Portland. We can holler at each other, bro.
Make sure, man. Hey, Shawn, let me tell you something, man. We in VO, we still love you, always will. And we're going to work that number 4, man, to the day we die.
No doubt, bro. Yeah, y'all be good. Holler at me,
All right, right on, man.
All right.
Right.